Did You Have To is a proud member of the But Why Though podcast community.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Did You Have To, a podcast where we watch live action adaptations of your favorite animations. As always, I'm Kate.
And I'm Nisha.
And today we're covering I want to call it shoujo, but I think it's like slice of life is technically the genre.
I feel like that's appropriate. Shoujo, I immediately go to Sailor Moon.
Right? Okay, and there's some kind of really adult themes too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're covering Orange. Live adaptation of Orange.
Yes, and this is actually, I never knew about Orange until Kate made the suggestion to watch this. Like, I didn't know about the anime, I didn't know about the movie, didn't know anything about this at all. But, yeah.
Yeah, I decided to get a Crunchyroll subscription, and I don't know why. I get into these, like, moods where I just want to watch romances and, like, good romances. Oh, no, I know what it was. What's a Koi? I watched
yes.
What's a Koi ended, and I was trying to find another anime romance to watch.
Aww.
And so I decided to go ahead and just get a Crunchy subscription, and I ended up watching Orange.
Oh,
and I loved it.
That's great. That's a nice little...
What's a Koi came from Nisha.
Yes, it did. I have a heart sometimes, guys. And guess what? Walter Koi is gonna get a live action adaptation too.
Yeah, and we better be able to review it. Damn it! Give us advanced screenings. Somebody,
please, whoever is in Japan on the production team, or if y'all are, do we have a listener in Japan even? Somebody.
Ooh. Somebody, please
help us. How do we get like advanced screening, or like? Did we find out if it's going to be a movie or a show? Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be a show. I'm
not sure. I thought it was a movie, but I think it might be a show.
Got it.
I just saw live action and I got excited about the potential to review it, and kind of didn't keep reading.
It is a perfect show for nerdy people who believe in love. With other nerdy people. Go watch it, y'all. It's on Amazon Prime. It is literally a fucking delight.
Good. I wrote a damn article about how good it is at showing romancing as geek.
Yes, and it is validating as hell, because who hasn't been like super nerdy into anime and dated someone who is not into nerdy stuff at all? Me. Mm-hmm. Because I mostly date jocks, because I am also a jock, and that is like one of the damn characters in the show, and I felt seen. So seen.
Oh gosh, that's how I feel about with Matt, because like Matt's like a nerd, but he also played football from like age 8 to 19, and like plays a whole bunch of sports and doesn't like my nerdy things, but like has his own little nerdy lives.
Oh,
so
that's true. Oh, and one more thing, I love how it shows the different interactions within the fandom. For nerdy people,
yes.
Like women interacting and bonding over fandom, things like cosplay or manga recommendations. It's like someone saw me and Kate's lives and made it into an anime.
If we got to go to Japan and go to a manga store, like that would be us.
It would be us. I would just be picking out everything.
Yep.
Oh God, it's just so perfect. Okay, this episode is supposed to be about Orange, not Walter Koi. That'll happen.
Yes.
Hopefully in the year 2019 when it's out.
Yes.
Fingers crossed it's out.
I will find some sort of torrent to watch it.
We will find a way. I mean, we would like to go legally about it and review it, but we will find a way.
Yes.
Okay. So, what are we, Rotten Tomatoes. That's right. That's what we usually do here. Why did I forget to do that? Sorry.
Okay, well, I'll start off with a little film background.
Yes,
so,
please do.
Orange is the 2015 Japanese teen fantasy drama film, and this is thanks to Wikipedia. I wouldn't classify. I mean, I guess it's kind of I don't know. Fantasy drama film based on the manga series of the same name by Ichigo Takano. It was released on December 12th, 2015.
Yes. All of that.
Yes.
And also, weirdly enough, there's not a Rotten Tomatoes thing for it.
Ah, okay.
Which I guess I'm not that surprised, because, most of the Rotten Tomatoes we've had for our live actions have been more of like Bleach, or I would say the ones that are more current, that have a wide release.
Yeah.
So I didn't see anything about this having like a release in America at all, or like North America.
Oh yeah. And actually, the funny thing is, so like this movie, as much as I thought that it was a live adaptation of the anime, it is very much a live adaptation of the manga or the manga, because the anime came out in 2016 after this movie came out.
Gotcha.
Which I didn't know, and now I feel like my critiques of the movie don't really have ground, but they still do, because it's how I felt, because I watched the anime.
Yep.
And we talk about animations, but yeah, I mean, the film has like a really simple premise for the most part. You have a group of high school friends, specifically Naho Takamiya, who's a 16-year-old girl, and she's about to start her second year of high school, and she starts receiving letters while on her way to school. And the letters are from herself, but it's from herself in the future.
Yeah.
And they have details of what the day is going to be like. And as the movie, I don't want to say the show, but as the movie continues, they get deeper and deeper and deeper. And you learn that they're trying to prevent a tragedy in Naho's life, with her first love. And I do want to say, I personally, the anime is one of my favorite animes I've ever watched, of this like genre. And so I do highly recommend for you to go to Crunchy and check it out before continuing, because I feel like the movie didn't have as much emotional weight for me.
I would agree. I mean, granted, we should have probably mentioned that like the anime is like a show, so it's not a movie. So I feel like
it's 13 episodes long,
which I mean doesn't seem long, but when you think about how much story was packed in the anime, and then the challenge of packing all of that, again, anime came after the movie. I feel like the anime had the room to give more emotion, whereas the movie, like, had I just watched the movie without watching the anime, I probably would have felt like, okay, there's not much emotion here.
Yeah.
Like, but it makes sense why, because they're packing in like so many chapters of a manga into a movie. Exactly.
Which, I mean, like, that has been a common critique of a lot of the anime movies that we've watched, is shortening down. Usually in those cases it's arcs, but just shortening down story for length.
Yeah, I mean, look what they did with Bleach. We're still very happy with how Bleach went, because I will happily take rewriting some of Bleach and making it arcs instead of trying to cram in all of the Soul Society arc and the Substitute arc into one movie.
Yep.
Like that,
100%.
That would have been terrible.
It really would have.
God, I would have hated it, because they would have just skipped to her being executed in like at the half point. Oh God. But
you mean it would have been like in Full Metal Alchemist, where they just found the Philosopher's Stone right there and then?
Yeah, basically that. Like we skipped a good like 20 episodes there. Oh, we found a fake Philosopher's Stone. It's not the real one. Oh no, or is it the real one? Who knows?
We don't care about your anime continuity.
Not at all. But again, I know we're getting off track, but to our point, I will take rewriting it to fit the movie over trying to cram everything from continuity. And if someone can do continuity, that's great. But I think we are learning from like what we watched so far is that rewriting and using themes from the anime is much better than trying to cram everything from the anime into the movie.
Yeah, it can be your best friend, because then you still get the emotion, the depth, and the weight of what the story is trying to do without sacrificing the pieces of it that make it that way.
Exactly.
And I think for Orange, it was the extended interactions with her friends, that and the self-reflection that she has, that I think really, really helps pack the emotional punches that anime does. And it's definitely something that I think was missing here.
I agree.
Do you want to summarize the movie?
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I mean, since you picked it, I'm gonna let you go into more detail.
Okay. Yes.
Or we can tag team it. However, so Naho, like Kate mentions, Naho is starting her second year of high school, and you learn really quickly she has a group of friends. Their names are Suwa, Takako, Chino, Hagita, and was it Ueda? Oh no, I hate her. Murasaka. So those are her core group. Those are her core group of friends. They're all very close knit and they're like very cool together. So then they're all starting school together. Right when class is beginning, Naho gets some letters and like she realized, oh, there's a letter in my bag. So she picks it up and she starts reading it, and things start matching up with what's happening right there in that moment. And this is where Kate said that she realized the letter is addressed to her from her. So at first she thinks it's a prank, but then the letter gets to the part about the exchange student, and then it keeps going and detailing like his name is Kakaru. And
I love his name.
I know, it's so cute.
I just really love his name.
Kakaru. It's so cute to say. So yeah, the name, everything is happening word for word as she's reading it. So then it gets to that point. She's like, his new transfer student will come. His name is Kakaru. He will sit next to you. And as soon as she's done reading it, it all happens. So she's just like, this has to be a prank. This can't be real. So,
and she's freaked out, but doesn't really believe it at the same time.
Right?
Which I can't really blame her.
I can't really blame her either, because how many of us would believe a letter that's addressed to us from us with very little proof? And I have one comment about this whole letter thing that I just want to get out, but I'm going to wait until we get a little bit deeper into this. So anyways, she puts the letters away and she just keeps going about what's going throughout their day. Because does she get to the line about no, sorry. She keeps taking peeks at the letter throughout the day.
Yes. She doesn't read it all as a whole. And that's really important because this, and I don't understand why they sent, one of the most important moments back on the day it happens.
Right? Because they even, we're just going to be all over the place here. They literally decided, their future selves decided that it has to happen by the 20th. Why didn't you send it earlier?
Send it on the fucking 18th.
Send it on the 18th. Send it on the 15th.
Build up the trust. Build up the trust beforehand. So when you have to completely
everything could have been avoided. Everything could have been avoided. I don't know if they just thought that they couldn't change history too much. But at the same time, if you wanted to make that tragic thing from ever happening, that would have been a good thing to do.
Do everything? Do everything in your power?
Everything.
Cover all of your bases?
Everything. At least give them a 5-day, grace period to try and reset history.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that was one of my biggest pet peeves. But time travel, y'all, we know how time travel works and the foolishness that comes with it.
Not really time travel too at the same time.
The anomalies.
So
it's the way they explain that aspect is just really funny. But okay, so back to that. So she again gets to a line in the letter about Kakaru, and it's warning her please help me. Basically, the letter's about I have so many regrets. I'm 26, 27, however old she is. Because it's 10 years in the future. So she's 26. I have so many regrets, and I would like to help you avoid those regrets. One of my biggest regrets are it's not protecting Kakaru. And I'm summarizing here. So then she's reading on. She's just Suwa is going to invite Kakaru to walk home with you because it's a half day, and so he can show him around and be friendly. Today is the most important day that you cannot let. I don't want Kakaru to come along. Literally, you could have put that at the top of the letter. I don't know. Something more important, make an excuse and say, hey guys, I actually have to, let's not push him. Maybe he has important things to do. Something that would help or give them better instructions. But no. She just reads it, and she doesn't do anything. So Kakaru, after Suwa being super persuasive and charming, he persuades...
As he is.
He is.
Well, not so much in the live action.
I know, but still. I'm going off of anime, kind of. But still,
I'll talk about my casting issues.
Yes, we will get there. Kakaru eventually is oh, no, I have to do this thing. And then Suwa is convincing him to no, come with us. We want to show you around town. You're new, and you can be our friend. So Kakaru gives in, And he's like, okay, sure, just for a bit. So he goes, they walk around, they're like showing him all over the places. They get some bread. And it's like really
Which
great.
I want those buns.
I want to try it. I want to try what a curry bun tastes like.
So good.
Curry sounds good. And a bun,
Curry anything? Curry and bread? Mm-hmm.
I love me some curry.
Yep.
Yes. Somebody send it to us.
Please.
And so, yeah, they do all that. And it's like this. I kind of like these moments because, like, just like in the anime, you see that Kakeru is very attentive, like observant, and he notices things about Naho right away. Like, hey, you're always putting others before yourself. You're always like, you don't. She literally walks behind everybody as a way to be courteous. She doesn't really like say what she wants. She just takes what someone gives her. So like, and that's noticed when like he's like, you want the curry bun, here, I'll trade you. So it's like, I'm like, that's kind of sweet that like worked in how he's so observant and everything. So at one point, you see Kakeru has walked away from the group so he can reply to a text, and then he comes back. Oh no, does that play into the story later? We'll find out. It does. Spoiler. So then,
yes,
it seems like they have had the most perfect day as teenagers would in this like little, I don't know, what do we call it? Slice of life.
Yeah, slice of life
movie. Like, it's been a great day. They made a new friend. Naho looks like she's starting to have a crush on Kakeru and everything. But then the next day comes, and Kakeru isn't at school. He isn't at school for the next 2 weeks. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we don't know what happened at this point. Naho, I think, does she read the letter and then find out what happened? No, she doesn't find out from the letter.
It comes later.
That comes later. So 2 weeks pass. Everyone's concerned, like, where Kakeru is. He comes back. He like makes up an excuse and says like, oh, I was just out. I was busy.
I was being lazy.
So he comes back to school. He's getting involved with the soccer team. He is still like acting like everything's normal. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to get to like what happened in those 2 weeks. He's just like, you know, going about life, putting on like this facade.
He's putting on a brave face.
A very brave face. And
he's not asking for help. He's all. Like, he doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't know how to ask.
Exactly. That's the problem. I think is the biggest problem, and he doesn't want to seem weak. So, okay, we're just going to get to it. The reason Kakeru was out for 2 weeks is because his mom had committed suicide.
Yep.
And the day that he went after school, when he had gone to hang out with his friends, with his new friends, he was supposed to go with his mom and help her go to the hospital to a new doctor.
Yep.
So now at this point, he just told, and in that text message he sent his mother was basically really telling her off of just like, leave me alone, stop being bothersome.
Why are you always like this?
Yeah, like really complaining about like, I don't want to help you anymore. And I mean, like, to his point, he's done a lot for a kid his age. When it's like, granted, it's like, who hasn't ever been annoyed with their parents? But it's like, imagine that being your last message to your mother.
Yeah.
And then she committed suicide. And like, we're not saying that was the tipping point, but he feels like that was the tipping point.
It's why he blames himself.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really, like, you just know that his mom had this was a long thing. Like, this was a long issue that was affecting their family, that was affecting their relationship, and was affecting him. It's one of the reasons why they left.
Yes.
Why they left Tokyo.
Oh yeah, and there's like tons. It's like an onion. There's tons of issues to unpeel, and it's like his mother was sick for a long time, and it was hinted that she was not doing well mentally.
Yes.
Like that's how they described it. It's that like did they say psychosis? I feel like maybe that was in the anime. They said
use like a specific word, but I don't remember exactly what, if I'm honest.
Yeah, they just kind of made it seem like she was not in the best shape mentally.
Yes.
Which again, depression, anxiety, all mental health is serious, just as well as like, bodily health. So that's what happened. Now at this point, nobody knows. He's just going to school. He's going about life as best as he can. He's being a
teenager. He's holding it to his chest, and he doesn't want to burden anybody around him.
Exactly.
his issues and
he
his
probably,
problems.
and like, how do you open up to somebody about that?
Yeah.
Like, that's a very difficult thing. I can't imagine anyone trying to open up to their friends, like your high school friends. I mean, imagine the friends you had in high school. I'm only friends with one person from high school, and that's like from almost 10 years ago. Whereas like, I can't even imagine like to the group of friends I had then if I would be able to open up to them like to that level.
Yeah.
So
it's scary.
Oh, for sure. So he's going through a lot, but he's, put on a brave face, going through life as this everything's normal. Joins us, kind of temporarily joins a soccer club and all that. So now what happened? There's a bunch of stuff.
And all of this, and like any sort of normalcy that he ends up getting is because in each letter that comes out, you see Naho trying to push him to do things.
Yes.
Pushing him to go out of his comfort zone or do more than he would have to just make up for it. Like, she knows that he's not with them, but she doesn't know why.
Yeah, that's right. She doesn't know by now that something happens to him, but she doesn't know why something happens to him. Like, she thought, like, oh, is he sick? Or is that why he was out for 2 weeks? Like, there's all these, like, suspicions around it. So she still has no idea what's going on. So then it was like they were having a school sports festival. And I remember it's like she was about to, like, her letter again was like, hey, I want you to take the hit. Because she's normally I wouldn't do it.
Yes.
So then she's like, and like her future self is like, please take the hit. I regret not doing that. And then she's like, basically it all leads to like, this is the day I fell in love with Kakaru. So and then
so sweet.
It is adorable and sweet. And then she goes ahead, she takes the hit, she makes a home run, their class wins, and then Kakaru notices again, being very observant, that she has the wrong size shoes on, and that's what's causing her foot to hurt. So
because she's trying to hide it
again. It's like, girl, speak up.
Yeah. So I will say, in both the anime and I think more so the movie, I'm just very annoyed with Naho a lot of the time.
Yes, because she needs to speak up. She has to speak up. I get being shy. I totally get that. But like stuff that is completely unavoidable, things that can be avoidable, speak up.
Yeah.
Like there's very major important things that could have been stopped if Naho had just spoken up.
Yup.
But okay, back to it. So then Kakaru helps like her bandage up her foot so it feels better, and she hints at it, like he's like, oh well, next year watch me, I'll be just as good as Suwa at soccer. And Kakaru like that's what he told her, and now he's like, yeah, I'll be watching you, like, kind of cute way of saying like, yeah, I'll root for you or whatever. I don't know, admitting that they both have interest in each other somehow. So that happened
in anime fashion,
unspecifically kind of admitting you both like each other. God, I could not live in a high school anime. I would lose my shit.
Oh, hell no, I could not.
I'd be the most abrasive tomboy girl.
Oh, I would.
Say. So yeah, they were going through all that back and forth and flirty crap. So then now we're to the next day of school. Suwa finds out from Naho that Kakaru wants to play soccer and that he would be just as good as Suwa. So Suwa is basically like the star athlete of the school. That's what we get from the anime, and like what we're supposed to assume from the live action also. Like he's a big shot and he's super tall, so all the girls liked him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I'm 5'4" and I love me a tall man.
My first gripe with this, I did not. They tried really. So like Japanese live actions of shoujo or like these slice of life things, like they try really hard to replicate like the height stuff, and then like the little like the flicking on the head and like those types of things, and it doesn't always work. And I think a lot of that has to do with casting. And I love Suwa so much in the anime, and I did not like who played Suwa here because it just wasn't Suwa.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I'm gonna hold that off to the end. Because there's some stuff there. I mean, again, anime expectations are hard to meet.
Yeah, that is fair.
Live
that
action.
Is really fair.
And I guess it's like they really were like they were teenagers. They were really played as teenagers in the live action. Like,
you mean my teenager can't have an 8-pack?
Yeah. Or a teenager can't be 6'5".
Yes.
Or at least that's what I imagine, because he's fucking huge. And I'm just like...
He has to be, like, at least 6'5", if not taller.
Yes, at least. I was just like...
He's a massive man.
Oh my god, very. And I was just like... Words are losing. Anyways, so... Yeah, through a lot of more persuasion from Suwa, even though this like goes back and forth for a while, where Kakeru is like, no, I can't join a sport, or like, I'll do it temporarily, and eventually he does join soccer, and he starts practicing with them. So I'm just gonna speed up to the part where like Kakeru one day notices that Naho makes her own lunch. Mm-hmm. And that kind of leads to another progression between them where he's like, oh, he kind of jokes about it at first. He's just like, would you mind making me one sometime? And she's like, she nods because she doesn't speak up. She just nods. So he's like, yeah, I'll make you one. So she goes home and is super excited and makes him a lunch. And then the next day, she could not work up the nerve to hand him the damn bento. But
which I don't understand. Girl, you put so much time into that bento box.
So much time. And I mean, at this point, everyone is teasing them about, like, kind of liking each other. So it's not even a freaking secret. Just give him the lunchbox. Like,
you made the damn box.
Every turn, it's like when she saw him at school the first day, she's just like holding the bag, and then again she's holding the bag, and then like eventually she's like, can I talk to you? And she's still holding the bag, and he reaches for it and she runs away, and I'm just like, this is the worst character trope I hate the most in all of anime, is when the girl is so shy that even when the guy touches her, she flinches and runs. I'm not saying like to our knowledge Naho's never been abused. I'm not saying like she's like traumatized or anything from like men.
Yeah, no, but it is an anime trope. It is a trope where like you have to be the and it's the reason that there are like, it's the reason why romance animes break down very strictly between like hentai and then like romance animes. Because like even in adult romance animes, you won't really see any sex or anything like that because it's just the standard that they hold the women to.
Yeah, but it's just like, oh my god, like can she be more? Can she be more than like this very meek child? Because I get being shy. I get being nervous about giving your crush something. But at a certain point, just give him the damn lunch. So,
and like, you're getting notes from the future that are telling you this is going to be okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine. He'll be happy. You'll make him happy if you give him the lunch. Literally, that's what the letter is telling her. So eventually, at the end of the school year, she waits by the gate where Suwa and Kakeru are walking out. Suwa takes the hint. He's just like, well, I'm going to go ahead. Which my heart goes out to that boy.
Suwa is a trooper.
He's a trooper. He is a good friend. He's like the best friend ever. He's a precious cinnamon roll that needs to be protected at all costs.
Oh, he really is.
So they go on a walk, Kakeru and Naho, and she eventually gives him the bento saying, I've been trying to give it to you all day. And he's just like, I was hoping that's what it was. I didn't want to seem busy. I didn't want to seem bossy, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, he takes it, and then like they're eating.
Which I mean, like, she's holding a lunch bag.
Yeah.
After he told her he wanted a bento, so like,
come on.
Yeah.
Come on. So they go and sit down while he can eat it and enjoy it, and he's like super happy. And I think like leading up to like the confession that's about to happen, I think it explains why he was so happy he got one. Sorry, real quick. Before this, did he say the line, you're like a mother? At some point?
I think so. I think he says it in the bento box section.
Okay, that's what I figured. So then, now we have and correct me if I'm wrong, if this is where he tells her the secret that, like, cause
he does. Okay. Because they're looking over the water, and he tells her, I was real, like, he explains why the bento means so much to him.
Yes, that's right.
Because of what happened to his mom. And she just, and asked her, not to talk about it and all that kind of stuff. But he opens up to her. He finally decides to let down that wall and show it to somebody.
Yes, which I think
which is a beautiful moment in the anime. It's well done in the movie.
And I mean, I think both the anime and the movie do a great job of like conveying the character of like dealing with so much self-hate.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I actually think, like, when it comes to casting, Gakaru, the actor who played Gakaru, like, acted so well.
Amazing. I think he did a perfect job, like, just getting across, like, the turmoil that he's going through and dealing with, because he's trying to keep it a secret. He's trying to also, he's grieving, but he isn't allowing himself time to, like, not blame himself, or he should have, like, you know, he probably had been advised to, like, get counseling at some point, but he didn't want to do any of that. He's just, like, trying to he's holding all of these emotions within himself, and it's a struggle. So then, when he confesses to her and tells her, and I think he even says, like, oh no, you're gonna hate me now.
Yeah, he really takes his mother's suicide as something that he caused. And so when he tells her, he sees it as, like, this big remorse, this big regret that he lives with, that he thinks everybody else is going to see, when that's not the case.
Yeah. It's definitely not the case, because while in the movie, her first reaction was silence. Yes. She just sat there numb, which, to her point, I feel like most people would not know what to say at that point. Yeah. Given, like, you just found out that the boy you like / your friend mother committed suicide. And they've been dealing with that in secrecy for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And it's also important, too, like, when you look at, so, like, not down, like, suicide in any case is a large deal, but in Japan, Japan has one of the highest, if not the highest, I haven't looked at the stats in a while, but suicide rates out of any country in the world. It is a real problem that they face in that country, and so it carries a large amount of weight, especially, and not that it doesn't here, like, I don't want it to seem that, but it is something real that people have a lot of people have been touched by in Japan, more so than you would have here. And so to have this as a piece of the story and seeing somebody be comforted to be like, hey, this isn't your fault, that's really powerful.
For sure, because
so it's really good.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that I appreciated how well the anime and the movie treated suicide. Like, it's very serious. Like, I think it...
I mean, but I completely agree. Like, if I was in that situation, I'm not the best at, like, comforting people. Like, I do, like, in some ways, silence is, like, the best answer, at least for a little bit. So you make sure you don't say anything that, you know, is insensitive or...
True. And my reaction is typically like, oh, I want to comfort someone. I want to take your pain away. But at the same time, I don't know how to take the pain away. The thing that I do to help people when they're, like, sad from a loss is, like, you know, if you want to talk about it. If you want me to sit here in silence with you while you cry, I'll sit here in silence with you. Yeah. Like, we'll get, like, I want you to know that I'm here for you. Like, just letting someone know that you're here for them can be, like, do a lot. But at the same time, how do you, like, what's the next thing you say? Because you can't tell someone that it's not their fault, because they're not going to believe you in that moment. I mean, you can, but it's very much like, it's not your fault. It's easy for me to say it's not your fault because I'm not you.
Yeah, I'm not the one having to deal with these issues. I'm not the one having to, like, and you also don't know the whole situation. You don't know why they're feeling that way. But yeah. Exactly.
So lots of stuff to unpack there. You know, she's hit with a huge realization of what happened. So she's starting to piece up things more together now. Yeah. She goes back.
And then she starts, like, and then, like, to the other point there is then she starts to blame herself. Because she's like, oh, crap. I should. And she goes back to the letter and is like, oh, this is what it was.
Yes, exactly.
I need to pay attention to these letters so closely. And then she takes them. And it's not that she didn't take them seriously before then. It's just she has a different type of, like, fervor and, like, dedication to them.
Yeah. Like, she's like, I'm going to use these letters to help save Kakeru.
I'm going to save him.
Yeah. And that's what her future self... Yeah. And that's what her future self is asking her to do, is, like, please save Kakeru. So all this is going on. And I can't, like, see, I feel like this has just been, like, so fuzzy in my brain. Like, what happens after that? Like, he kind of is still kind of distant like, he starts to kind of distance himself from her.
Yeah.
But they keep getting pulled in together and different things, like thanks to Suwa and like the other friends, like, come on, let's go do this, let's go do that. And it's just like she knows things from the letter. Like one day it says like, oh, Kakeru's not going to have a pencil and a pen. But I have an extra one, so give it to him. And when you get the eraser back, please look in the eraser sleeve. So she does all that. And this is because, at this time, Kakeru is also being pursued by Ueda, who is the popular girl.
I hate her.
I hate her so much. I hate her in the anime and hated her in the live action. She's like flirting with him because she sees how good he is on in soccer, and that they're both from Japan, and they're both from Tokyo. So that's so cool. So every chance that like Kakeru has like of a free moment, Ueda would always like just pop up out of nowhere and just like, oh, Kakeru, come here and talk to me about this thing that's in Tokyo. Like, just super annoying bitch. Yeah. I don't care. I'm talking about a character. I don't care. Not the actress. But
no, I agree.
So she is basically trying to like work at him, and then like, you know, at this point, before Naho gives him the pencil and the eraser, they're like talking, and they're just like, oh, is there someone you like? And he's like, maybe, and like all this other stuff, and then just like cutesy shoujo crap or slice of life stuff, or just like talking about like liking people.
Borderline shoujo crap.
Shoujo crap. And then it's like at one point, I think someone's like ask him like, oh, well, do you like Ueda? He's like, I like the way she looks. And I'm just like, because that's a high school boy response. Why not? It
was like a really appropriate response. Like, it was a response. I was like, oh, I could totally see a dude in high school saying that.
For sure.
Like,
for sure. I like the way she looks. I mean, it's a high schooler. I don't expect much depth from them at that point. And the kid's dealing with a lot of crap. So,
oh yeah,
I give him a break for that. So then Ueda eventually goes and confesses to him, and like he tells her he'll give her an answer at the end of the day, or after. Which
I do want to say, just quick question for anybody who has lived in Japan, is Japanese, any of those things. Are these like declarations of love that happen really that big? Because it happens in like a lot of animes.
I feel like maybe it's just like, it can't be that serious. I mean, it really can't be that serious. Like maybe giving a crush a letter. I just feel like anime has to be playing that up so much. I can't take that seriously. But what kills me is that they do it in the live action, even stuff that's not based on anime. So it's like, even in like, I just
like, I feel like it has to like obvious, like I think like it'll definitely be like a hyperbole, but I feel like there has to be at least some truth on it, because like, how many animes do people get called up to a rooftop to hear a declaration of love?
True. But it has to be a trope. It really, like, you know, it has to. I refuse to believe that happens in real life. I mean, it would be cute and adorable, but I refuse to believe that's a normal thing. And then it's just something that anime does, like, you know, like being proposed to with a bed of roses all over the floor with lights and candles everywhere. Like, that crap has to be like, no one proposes like that all the time. That's just stuff people see in movies, so they do it. So maybe it's the same thing with anime. It's the stuff they see teenagers do in manga, so that's why they do it on the shows.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just
okay.
I just like
it bugs me so much.
Which is another reason to go watch Watakoi, the most simple confession of liking someone ever.
Because they're drunk.
No, they're drunk. They have been drinking, and they're playing video games, and they're out at dinner.
They're drinking and playing video games together. But it was great, because that is definitely something that would only happen.
He like very smoothly and kindly asked, "Well, what about me?"
It's perfect. It's perfect.
It is
perfection. I also like say this as somebody who got drunk to tell my like my partner like that I love them for the first time. Because I was just like, I don't know how to handle this.
Who doesn't have a lot of emotions? Who doesn't have a little liquid courage before doing stuff? I mean, I flirt when I've had at least a whiskey or two. Makes it easier. I'm more friendlier. I'm more sociable. I don't give a fuck, and I go after whoever I want. Not in a weird, creepy way. I just, like, you know.
But, like, I feel more
confident. So I can go and actually say hello instead of just like drinking and eating some fries.
And staring.
Well, no, I do not stare. That's like my biggest thing. I hate. I
stare. I'm really bad at staring.
I'm good at not looking like I'm staring, but I don't know. We're not going to talk about my dating style.
I also haven't stared in like a long time, so I guess I can't really say that.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about my dating style. I'm a great wing person when I've had at least 3 drinks in me, so that's great. It's great to embarrass other people. I don't like when people do it to me, even though am in desperate need of a wing person sometimes. So Kate, better get ready.
I got you.
I know you will. Okay, so sorry not to talk about our dating lives anymore. Yeah. So I don't know if that's a normal thing, but maybe we'll just like err on the side of maybe, if that's a thing that happens in real life.
If you know, let us know.
Please let us know. If anyone who lives in Japan and listens to this, or who has visited, or went
to school in Japan, or has friends from Japan.
I'm just curious, and I don't want to, we don't want to assume things either from anime about Japan, because I feel like that would be bad. It's like people assume...
that's weeaboo territory.
Yeah.
That we don't exist in.
We don't do that here. We are not them. So, back to this. So this is where Naho lends him the pen and eraser. And like the letter reminds her, like, when you get the eraser back from him, check the eraser sleeve right away. She gets the eraser back from him. She doesn't get the chance to check it right away because someone calls her to go clean. And you could see that Kakeru was looking at her, waiting for her to check the eraser sleeve. Now, can you please tell me how the fuck would she know to check the eraser sleeve if he didn't tell her?
Right?
You have a cell phone. You have a cell phone. You could have texted her. And in the note, I'm sorry. So she gets back and she runs back to check the eraser sleeve. And it's at this moment where, like, he's already left the room. She checks the note in the sleeve and it says, "Do you think I should date Ueda?" And she goes to his locker and slides in a note, which again, you both have cell phones. And she puts no. Just no. So then Kakeru goes to the locker and sees the note and knows that's her answer. As that she didn't want, but oh no, he already accepted Ueda's confession. And now they're dating.
Because it's not like he asked a question to somebody.
Exactly. Like, you wouldn't wait. You could have waited, or you could have gone to her directly and said, "Do you think I should date her?" So this is very high school crap, where it's like a guy who may like his girl who is a friend, and then, like, he has another girl who's interested in him. I'm sorry, I'm speaking from like anger and also how it has happened to me. And when it really pisses me off when guys do that and they ask you, like, "What do you think? Should I date her?" I'm like, you're a fucking grown man. Like, if you, and this is college and high school crap, I'm like, do not ask another woman if you should date her. Unless, like, you were legit friends and you have no interest in that girl as anything further. Because both times, this is like now 100% proof with me. It has happened 2 times. And then months later, the guys come back and says, like, "Oh, I should have dated you." I'm like, well, that's your fucking fault, isn't it?
Exactly.
Whose fault is that? Not mine, because I didn't tell you yes or no. But we're
tapping into large parts of ourselves today.
Yeah, we are. Damn it, this showing emotions. But my point is, I don't appreciate him at basically taking the responsibility of replying to a confession and placing it on Naho. Like, it's not fair. It's not fair to Naho, and it's not fair to him. Like, yes, maybe it was his way of trying to find out if Naho liked him, but how does that make Naho feel? Like, she doesn't know your feelings at this point. She doesn't realize that, oh, you know what? I do really like you, and I don't want you to date her. But that's just a lot. Like, no, you have to make your own decisions, and if you didn't really want to date her, you shouldn't have dated her. So anyways, yeah. So, or if you had doubts about it, you shouldn't have. So, yeah. Now it's been like a few weeks, and over those few weeks that he's been dating Ueda, all of his time has been taken up with her and soccer, so they barely all get chances to hang out together, because Ueda is always dragging Kakeru around, holding his hands around the school, taking him over to her class, showing him off, and
like a fucking toy.
Like a toy, like a puppy.
Just so...
Like a puppy, which is, again, wrong. So then, at this point, as soon as they started dating, he was like waiting for a bento from Naho, and Naho's like, I didn't make you. Oh no, he wasn't even waiting. Before he could reply, say hello to her, she's like, I didn't make you a bento today. And she was like very curt about it, and just like,
yeah,
and like rightfully so. Probably she's just like, I thought it would be disrespectful to senpai, which she's talking about Ueda
senpai.
Yeah, God, stop being so nice, girl. So she then like says, I didn't think it would be polite to her if I made you lunch anymore. So he's like, oh, okay. Well, like,
what did you think, boy?
Did you think you was gonna get lunches from her and date this girl? Also, in the anime, it's even more messed up because he asked Naho to call him at 5 a.m. to wake him up in the morning.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, knowing what he was going through now, I can understand that he just wanted extra support and like someone to like, you know, he wanted more interaction from someone. He wanted that attention from Naho. And he needed it then to help push him because he's probably depressed, and those phone calls from her at 5 a.m. really helped him. However, my point is, you can't expect that Naho is going to keep making you lunches and you're dating someone.
Exactly. You can't get both things.
You can't get both things. And I think he has the realization of just like, oh, I can't keep being friends with you like we are now if I'm dating her. And then he comes to his own realizations is that like he never should have dated Ueda because eventually Ueda bumps into Naho on purpose because Naho's really been struggling with like, I want to talk to Kakeru. I want to like, because the letter is then telling her like, you need to tell him how you really feel. Like you need to tell him like why you said no, or like you need to talk to him because like if you keep being distant, you stop talking to him, you won't ever talk to him again. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that happens. Ueda sees her. She like knocks her down really hard in the hallway, and then Kakeru turns around.
Have I mentioned that I hate Ueda?
I hate her too. Yes, please say it again. We hate her. Ueda then like throws a bitch fit because like, Kakeru, you shouldn't be looking at other girls, and
no. And she's like, why are you asking her if she's okay? She bumped into me.
Ugh. It's like, obviously this is like the catalyst that Kakeru has been waiting for to break up with her. Mm-hmm. So eventually him and Naho, he helps Naho up. And then Naho's like, oh, I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing to the bully that knocked you down, Naho? Because you're too damn polite and I'm tired of that trope. So then Naho runs away, and then eventually Naho and Kakeru, he asks her if they can talk. And this is where he confesses to her about like, I shouldn't have ever dated her. And like basically saying he's sorry. And he like, I think he says he saw her note.
Yeah.
And like, help me out here. What did they really talk about besides like him breaking up with her?
No, and so like they like go off into this thing where she's like, oh, do you know, because so this is also the stupid thing, because like she tries to convince Kakeru to stay with her. Well, if you give her more time, and it's like, no, don't tell him that.
That's like the worst thing, and she's just so polite to her own fault of just like, girl, he don't want her.
Yeah, but it's also like on Kakeru because she's like, oh, well, who do you like? And he's like, it's a secret, and then walks away, and like, really.
That shit. That was terrible. That like made me mad too. I'm like, here we go again with these tropes.
But, I mean, and that's pretty much like how they talk, and it's like this moment of understanding between them, and like at the same time, they're not really doing anything.
Not at all. It's like, I like you and you know I like you, but we haven't told each other that we like each other.
Yep.
So,
and we're just going to keep saying secrets.
Exactly. Like, well, who do you like? I don't know. It's a secret. And then run away. Bullshit.
You'll never guess who I like.
Oh my God, that laugh. Okay. So then eventually he breaks up with her. That happens off screen. And now they are in like the summer season, I'm guessing, because they're at a pool and it's like a school festival.
It feels kind of like it's like a summer festival for sure.
Yeah. I couldn't
it's a cultural festival.
Yes.
It's
right.
a cultural festival. So like every slice of life, every shoujo anime, like they always have a cultural festival.
Yep. Which again is another thing I would like to know.
Even My Hero Academia had a cultural festival, only it was a sports festival. So like, It's a trope.
Oh, and then season...
Not a trope, but like it's probably like
but
a
also
real,
in
like a
season
reality.
3. Oh, it's coming in season 4. Get ready for the... Okay, we can't get on this discussion because I love that anime. We can like make... What did you say?
I love it. I said my hero.
Oh, I thought you said Bakugo. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh no, Bakugo is my child. I will protect him.
And I will protect Deku. So...
That's fine.
Okay. Just as long as we have an agreement. I like Bakugo too, but...
I like Deku. I will not justify my child's actions. However, look at his reasoning behind it and how he has not been able to process his own emotions.
I understand. I hear you. I'm up to date on all the manga. I understand what is wrong with Bakugo and that he needs help.
My poor child.
And he needs to go back to Best Genist to get some more help with that attitude.
He does.
Now we're gonna stop here because we're gonna go down there. But My Hero Academia is going to be getting a live action also, God willing.
From Lionsgate.
We're not gonna talk about that now. Sorry, but we're gonna save that for another special episode. Anyways, so at this point, they are like now friends again. They're all like socializing together, and they like things are basically getting back to normal with the friends group. And this is where like Kakeru kind of hints at her. It's like, oh, I'd love to like see the fireworks tonight, and she hints at like, oh, I want to see them too. And they make an agreement to see the fireworks together on the rooftop by the pool. Again, another very romantic-y thing to do. So,
with so many things that could potentially go wrong.
So many things could go wrong. I'm just like thinking like, do y'all really get to roam the schools this freely?
Right?
Again, when I was younger and from watching anime, like especially like school life, I always thought like, I want to go and be an exchange student just so I can see how much of this is real. Not that I wanted to experience of it. I just want to know what was real and what wasn't real. Like, I thought that would be the coolest thing is just to be exchange student. No way my parents would let me do that. But still, I just wanted to know what the hell was real and what wasn't.
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyways, now we're back to them, like, making the agreement. Like, oh, yeah, well, totally. Like, yeah, let's meet up here after whatever. And we'll watch the fireworks together. Just you and me. Because he kind of hints at, like, I just want to watch it with you. Again, another little hint that he likes her. So... she's like, it's a deal. So then they're at like the beauty pageant, and Ueda is crowned like the beauty of the school.
Yeah.
And everybody,
like prettiest girl in school.
Exactly. But then everyone's just like, oh, she's actually a bitch, so I don't like her. So like, and then so she sees Ueda from the stage sees that Kakeru isn't even staring at her. He's looking at Naho. So
God, this girl has so many she has so many issues.
You're very much jealous over underclassmen.
Right.
Over two underclassmen. Like you, and I think it's just the idea that she can't have what she wants. So
yeah, that's fair.
Exactly, like the idea of like, oh, someone else can't have what I want. So then she and her little crew of bad bitches, not in a good way, just like mean girls.
They're the plastics.
Yeah, the plastics, pretty much.
With no redeeming qualities.
None whatsoever. They force Naho to go and move some boxes, which again, I don't understand why she did it.
Why would you do it?
Why did she do it?
I guess this goes back to like I guess we would have to like understand like Japanese like upperclassmen culture and like how does it really happen. But
yes, I guess that
I find it hard to believe.
Yes, again, that she or is she just that polite? Because then her friends, so then like Naho to her polite and caring nature and nurturing nature, she does it. But then her friends see her like, what are you doing? You need to be somewhere more important right now. Because they know that, like, about her and Kakeru making a deal to, like, watch the fireworks together. Because the fireworks have already started and Kakeru's on the roof by himself. Because he possibly wouldn't understand, like, hey, dude, your ex made me move these boxes. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't that I didn't want to be here with you. It's because your ex is a bitch.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have worked. But she just felt like, oh, no, he's going to hate me because I'm not there. Anyways.
Not your ex made me move boxes that are as big as my body.
Yeah. So she goes and joins him on the rooftop, and he is like super happy that she shows up, and then at the last moment, it looks like the fireworks are over.
Not the rooftop, the pool.
Via the pool that is open, and that's not dangerous at all.
Yep.
With unsupervised children all around. Because I don't know what would unsupervised children do in an empty school building. I don't know.
It's slice of life anime. They won't be having sex, that's for sure.
Okay. I'm just saying. Anyways, so yeah, they hold hands, and then the last big firework happens. I'm sorry, he holds her hand as the big firework is happening. Mm-hmm. And, like, it's a very sweet romantic moment, I would assume. A moment...
You would assume.
I would assume. A moment that you think somebody would be the perfect time to confess and tell them how you feel. But no, it was not that moment. So, yeah. So, let's see. Blah, 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 blah. I'm, like, reading at the Wikipedia now. Oh my god, they skipped a lot. Never mind. Okay, we're just gonna keep going from memory.
Yep. All that matters.
All that matters. I got between our two memories, we are gonna piece it all together. So yeah, all that happens, and like now you notice that they're kind of inching closer and closer together. Like he's trusting her more and more, and opening up to her more. So I know this has probably happened at some point or another, but we're just gonna talk about it real quick. At one point in chemistry class, they start, for whatever reason, talking about time travel.
Which I didn't understand because it's fucking chemistry.
It is fucking chemistry. Why are you talking about time travel?
Like physics, maybe?
He's talking about... he's literally saying it's an anomaly. I'm like, anomalies don't happen in chemistry. Why are you talking about time travel anomalies? So then Hagita, being the smart friend of the group with his glasses in his book the entire time.
I love him.
Yes.
And that, which again, I know anime standards, but he is gorgeous in the anime.
Anime, gorgeous. Live action, no. Mm-mm. So I think they just tried to make him look more bookish in the live action. But yeah, but Hagita. I enjoyed Hagita for taking one for the team and just basically explaining the plot that's happening behind the major plot of like time travel and how these letters came to exist, or or at least breaking down like time travel shouldn't happen because if you change this, then it could cause huge changes. It's like if you go back in time and kill your parent, then you wouldn't exist, but if you killed your parent, then you wouldn't exist. So the you that killed your parent wouldn't exist.
Mm-hmm. And I think, and this was actually really interesting for me. So like they establish it not so much as like time travel, it's time travel, but it's more like
creating a parallel.
Exactly. It's the parallel universes, which is actually so fucking sad because you realize that all this is doing is just creating
a parallel universe,
another world where Gakuru is still alive.
Yes, we're the ones who are saving him.
The ones who sent it back will never see him.
We'll never see him.
Oh,
and they have to live with the regret, and they still don't know. Like they don't know if Gakuru was saved or not. They just have to go off of faith.
It hurts.
And but then I just this was very helpful because I've been trying to I like Dragon Ball Super. I have a complicated relationship with Dragon Ball Z as a whole. But I love Dragon Ball Super. And it's like someone's like I think like months back I was like I realized, oh, they're in a fucking parallel universe. And then it hit me. I'm like, so that's where all this shit is happening and why Goku didn't have like Super Saiyan God when he was fighting. I just thought they were gonna like revisit or like stop up into whatever saga happened in between. I'm like, oh no, it's an actual parallel universe, and that's what made me more interested in Dragon Ball Super. That took me like 3 episodes to get into because I never paid attention, and now I'm just like, oh, I like this. I like the idea of like creating a parallel universe. I like it, but it is kind of heartbreaking when you think about it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's really nice, and it's a really nuanced way to do it that I appreciate.
And it's less messy. It's so much less messy because in the future, we can talk about the future kids now. Like, it's the year 2025 and what they're up to. Naho marries Suwa. Which I love them
because Suwa has been in love with her this entire time.
And I am pretty much a person who thinks of if you were in anime in most cartoons If you were in love with her first before the new person came along, dibs.
Yes!
Dibs.
Dibs! Dibs rules!
Dibs. You have all right to confess your feelings, and if that person feels the same way, great. If they don't feel the same way, you have to move on and let go.
Yes.
But, you know, things happen, and feelings develop at a different rate. So who knows if Suwa had confessed to her that he liked her before Kakeru came onto the scene, then maybe, or if Kakeru had been together. Like, we don't know. There's so many ifs and what's happened. Like, if Kakeru's mom had been alive and, you know, things just went about and, like, he dated Ueda and then eventually, you know, Naho and Suwa still would have ended up together. We don't know. That's a possible parallel universe. But in this instance, in the future, Suwa blames himself for not saving Kakeru. Because he's like super like guilty. Like, he's been guilty. He's just like, it's my fault, and the only reason Naho married me was because Kakeru died. And I'm just like, that's really harsh, man. Like, you don't deserve that. Like, I think he sees it that way, but truthfully, you were being a good friend and you comforted her, and you confessed to her, not knowing that Kakeru was what he was going through. Like, the past
and like on the
self.
other thing too, because like the other thing is really, and you can't really blame him for it. I don't say he was selfish, but he was doing what he saw was best for himself because he didn't know what was happening, like you said, with Kakeru.
Yes.
Because, like, so Kakeru, like, confides in Suwa, telling him that he, you know, he does like her and all these things. But Suwa, in the first version of himself that, like, the future, you know, quote-unquote future kids are, refused to help the two.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't have to.
You don't.
He did not have
especially
to.
Especially when you're such a good guy, like spite, like
he's
anyway,
the glue that holds that friendship together. All those friends together. So then
he really is.
He really is.
But because he's a good guy, he bears that guilt.
Yes, he does. And damn, I don't want to skip too much because there's like a bunch. I know we're just now hitting an hour, but it's fine. Editing. So. Yeah, all that happens, the fireworks and stuff. We talked about the future. So yeah, Naho and Suwa are married now. All their friends are gathering together because they wanted to pay a visit to Kakeru and, you know, fulfill a promise that they made to him for about his birthday. So it is now revealed that they are attending a memorial for Kakeru, who died 10 years ago. And they're visiting his home, his former home, where his grandmother's home. To, you know, pay their respects to him, pay their respects to her, and talk, and, like, you remember him. However, Suwa's very, like, straightforward. It's just like, we have to know, was it truly an accident? What happened? Because from what they're told, it's that it was an accident and that a truck hit Kakeru on his bike. Whereas, I think they said there's the driver, or there was a witness who said that it looked like Kakeru had swerved purposely into traffic to be hit by the truck. So they were just like, like, we need to know. So then it's when the grandmother's like, oh, Kakeru is okay if I, like, tell them now. And
she's like, I think it's time that I let them know.
Yeah. And she shares within the letter he left her. And it's like, if anything happens to me, like, basically apologizing to her and, like, saying it's not your fault. And I just like, man, that's just, again, depression and suicide and mental health is a very serious thing. And it's at this point they realize that, oh, wow, our friend took his life. It's not that it was an accident that and, like, again, they felt guilty because they realized we couldn't save him. So. And
it's such a good scene because they hold themselves together when they're in there with his grandma, and then they're walking away, and then all of a sudden they start crying.
Yeah, just breaks down regret, because they really cared about him. It wasn't just like some kid they saw in class. It was like their friend.
Yeah, and Naho doesn't cry in that scene until she goes and she finds her old diary about him.
Exactly,
and then she breaks down, and it's really well done.
It is really well done. I mean, I think the biggest thing is that this Naho didn't have that close relationship with Kakeru. Yeah, so they were distant. They were friends, but she didn't see him any different than, like, her other friends. Like, and I guess let's just say Universe A, he starts dating Ueda, he starts being busier, but they're still friends.
She lets him drift off.
Yeah.
Like, she pushes her feelings aside because she always puts people before her.
Exactly.
But they don't get to the level that they are in Universe B.
Yes, exactly. So Universe B, their relationship has changed and her role has changed in his life, and she's just more involved and she's there for him more, and they have a closer relationship than, they had in the Universe A.
Yeah.
So now
And then...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just going to go back to the synopsis. What were you saying?
Yeah, no, I was going to go... And the cool thing that you find out here after these moments is you find out that actually everybody, or the specifically Suwa, has been receiving letters.
Yes.
Like, the guilt that he feels, all of them have agreed to write letters back to themselves to affect change.
Yes.
And for different, and not all Kakaru, but or at least in the anime, but like majority Kakaru. And Suwa makes it his goal to put himself aside and put Kakaru and Naho first.
Yes. I will say real quick though, in the movie they switched it where it's like it's only Suwa and Naho who get letters.
Yes.
The other three didn't get letters. And I don't think they specified or they didn't have the discussion. It's like, hey guys, let's try to say. They didn't have the scene like they did in the anime where they're like, let's all write letters to ourselves so we can all help Kakaru.
Yep.
So we can where it's like they switched it up. And instead of it being revealed that all of them got letters, it's that the other three friends have to believe Suwa and Naho. And they have to trust in them and their letters to help Kakaru.
Yep. And I think this is why I think this is why you lose some of the emotion from the anime, because in the anime you learn that they get extra letters to put them together with each other and encourage them to stand up to Ueda and they all have been working secretly by themselves towards this common goal of saving Kakaru.
Naho's
and
friends,
it means so much more.
Yeah, and Naho's friends are just there every time she seems like, are you sure there's not something you want to tell us? They're just, because their future selves are just telling her, just be there for her. You just let her come to you. Just be there for her. And I think that's really awesome because they knew what she was doing from the very beginning, or at least a day or two after she got her letter.
Yep.
And that they were just being there for her whenever she needed. That's why they helped and took those boxes from her. And that's why I can't remember her name, but she was the cool friend with the long hair. How she stood up to Ueda for her. They called her a tomboy, but I was just like, no, she's a badass.
Exactly. She's just not going to take any shit.
Exactly. Okay. So, sorry. Back in 2005, so now we're back in Universe B, Naho and Kakaru pay a visit to the shrine during the Bon Festival, where, through Naho's insistence, Kakaru tearfully reveals about his mother's suicide on the day of the school entrance ceremony, which he did not attend because of the conflict he had with his mother. Several days afterward, Hiroto goes to Nao's house to tell her that he has also received letters from his 2025 self. So that's where we're at right now.
Yes.
Who directs him to do as Naho's does. He states that though they cannot undo what happened in their sender selves, so in their future selves, they can create a new parallel universe. So again, this is just everything we just talked about.
Yep.
To achieve the goal of saving Kakaru. So then this is where they recruit the other friends to come together to help stop Kakaru from taking his life. You know, and then this starts off with them talking about well, let's celebrate Kakaru's 17th birthday. And they all ask him well, what do you want for your birthday? They're really trying to get Kakaru to be excited about life. And look forward to things.
And give him a reason. Yeah. Yeah, give him a reason for life.
Exactly. Being there for him. Showing that they're really, truly his friends. Because in the anime, and there was also hinted, this is the thing that was going to happen. He had been planning to go meet with some friends from Tokyo.
Oh, in the anime, that's completely soul-crushing.
It's soul-crushing. And it's in the live action, it doesn't happen because... Naho persuades him to come do something else instead of going to see his friends, because she knows something bad was going to happen if he went to go see his friends, so he doesn't go. So then Kakaru in the anime goes, and these are his friends from Tokyo that he grew up with, and he tells them this is where he actually breaks down and tells them actually I'm not doing so well I'm sad all the time. My mother took her life, and I don't think I want to be here anymore. Like, he's confessing, and like, this is him opening up to who he thought were like his good friends and telling them that, like,
his longtime friends,
that I want to kill myself. And that is like, you know, again, they're high schoolers, and they're like, what are you talking about? You're joking, right? Ha ha ha. I'm like, oh my God, this is just like so crushing. So like, I think it's kind of played out differently in the live action, but like, you know, you see Kakuro come into his room after the visit, and he has a towel around his neck, and he looks at the towel, and then you find out that Kakuro wasn't at school for another week, and it's because in the anime, Kakuro tried to hang himself with the towel.
Yep.
And it's like, he felt alone again, because in Universe A, this would have been when he's still with Ueda. He's distant. He's not as close with his other friends.
Yeah, he doesn't have anybody with him.
Exactly. And that like spirals him into like wanting to commit suicide. So Kakuro has tried to commit suicide more than once. Like, again, so this is something he's hiding from people, and like all this pain while all this is going on. So while like now we're back to like they're willing to celebrate his birthday. So in Universe B, he didn't meet up with his friends, and he didn't try to attempt to suicide with the towel the first time. So they're getting excited about his birthday. Everyone asks him like, well, what do you want? I think Chino and Hiroto ask him like, well, what do you want? Soccer tickets? We'll get you soccer tickets. They got him soccer tickets. Yeah. Hagita asked him like, you like that manga you read, right? And of mine that you read, right? He's like, yeah, I liked it, but you guys don't have to give me a gift. And he's like, oh no, it's not a gift. But Hagita gets sent for him. And then comes Suwa, the best friend ever, who asks him, what do you want?
Oh my God.
And this is just so fucking sad, because he's like, I don't know what I want. And he's just like, well, what would you like to have on that day? He's like, I want flowers, and because I would just give them to Naho. So Suwa goes and gets these flowers, gives them to Kakuro, and so Kakuro can give them to Naho.
Yep.
And again, in the anime, in Universe A, they bring all these gifts to Kakuro's room, as you know, as presents and for remembering him. And Suha picks up the flowers off the desk and hands them right back to Naho. And she's like,
whoa, why? What? And he's just like, because he was in love with you.
And that's when she really breaks down.
Yeah.
Just like, she's like, Universe A Naho had no idea.
Yeah.
That he was in love with her.
Honestly, I thought that in the anime it was so, like, gut punch.
Yep.
And I was in the movie, I just, like, that actress, like, it felt too forced.
Mm-hmm.
The crying.
Yep.
Like, I don't know what it was. Like, it just didn't seem, like, real.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, crap.
Yeah, it felt very forced, but I mean, I don't know.
It was still a good scene.
Very good.
Like, it was definitely still a good scene, but it was one of those things where, like, it just wasn't the anime.
Yeah. And I think that's, again, anime to live action is always so hard to depict, even emotions, which you think would be easier with humans, but it's not. So yeah, that happened. So then next, like, you know, but in Universe B, Kakuro successfully confesses to Naho and saying, like, you don't have to answer me, but I hope you one day realize my feelings. Like, very offhandedly, like, confessing but not confessing about his feelings to her. And she just kind of, like, nods because she's, like, in shock, I guess. Everyone's left the room by now, so it's cute. Whatever.
And she also just nods for everything.
For everything. So then, next, now we're, like, all five signed up to back Kakuro up for an upcoming relay race where he serves as the anchor because in Universe A, Kakuro falls and hurts his ankle, and he blames himself because Kakuro at this point is very emotional and is, like, really blaming. And if the slightest thing goes wrong, he blames himself. And he spirals into depression and, like, it's my fault, just like it's my fault that my mom died. Like, it is the smallest thing that can trigger him. So, before the race, Kakuro's looking like Where is it? Oh yeah, before the race, Kakuto reveals the truth about his mother to his friends, which again,
to all of them
at once, because like, and again, they've been really like keeping an eye on him all day. Like this is like the parents are all coming, so he's very emotional. And he even lies to them and says like, my mom's at work. And then like Suwa had arranged for his dad to go and pick up Kakuto's grandmother so that he would have someone there for him. Like again, Suwa is the fucking best friend ever.
He is the MVP.
The MVP. Ever, the bestest friend ever. I mean, of all anime. So Suwa, like, all this is arranged to help Kakuto out on this day because they know it's going to be a very trying day for him. So then, like, they're carrying something over and they're like kind of hinting it's like very subjective, like, you know, like, oh, you don't have to do it on your own. You know, we're all here for you. Like, they're all like hinting at like, we know, you know, we're here for you. Like, you can just tell us if something's heavy on you. And like, eventually he confesses.
You don't have to carry the weight yourself.
Exactly.
You can share it with us.
Exactly.
And the burden's lighter. And it like,
it's great lines.
I mean, we'll talk. It's such great lines, but it again, the anime, like, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
So then, with this support now, he feels like again from the support he probably wouldn't have gotten from his friends from Tokyo. He realizes that he can trust them. And he can be open with them, and he confesses to what he like, not confesses, but like he shares the truth. So like now he feel like he's regained some spirit and they end up winning the race because like the race scene is really cute. Like they all are passing along a message about like save the future. I don't know. I can't quote it, but it's like a very powerful message. But I'm like at the same time, like how the hell did all of you remember that whole entire message and like while running? But you know, it's the gesture. Like they're being encouraging to him. And he wins. So after the race, as a reward of his success in the relay, Kakuto kisses Naho on the cheek. So cute.
Yeah. It's adorable.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's adorable.
A kiss on the lips would have been better.
Yeah, this is true. But anime.
Yes, I know. But so yeah, a few weeks later have passed before it's several weeks before the new year, the time when like Kakuto would commit his suicide according to the Naho's future self. So like again, they're being very watchful of Kakuto. They're hoping that things have like, you know, changed the future slightly so that he doesn't try to commit suicide. But so they agree to go to a shrine visit, and like all the friends are going to go. Suwa says like he'll stay behind, wasn't feeling well. He made up an excuse because he didn't want to be there because his future self said like don't go. Yeah,
because this is the day that like he was there to console Naho, and this is what leads to them getting married in the future.
Yes, and then so
because Suwa, like the MVP and perfect cinnamon bun that he is, was like, I will give up my happy marriage and child because I love Kakuto so much and want to save him.
Yep. And he knows, and he loves Naho so much because he knows that she loved him too. So, granted, thank God this is a parallel because I did not want them to give up that future.
Oh, I did not either.
And I hope that Suwa and that Naho find peace of knowing that like it's not their faults and their marriage isn't a mistake, and like they would have fallen in love no matter what.
Because I don't remember if she says it in the movie. I know in the anime she says like explicitly like I would have married you even if Kakuto was still alive. Yeah,
because again in that universe, Kakuto's mother not killed himself. Kakuto probably would have dated Ueda, and Naho and Suwa would have ended up together anyways.
Yep,
cool. So yeah, Naho then like. Naho gets into a conflict with Kakuto about his grandmother's health. Now, this isn't Naho being a jerk. This is literally Kakuto is just like saying, you know what? I actually would like to go home. My grandmother's not doing that well. I'm sorry, but if it's okay with you, I'm just gonna go home. And then like, but to Naho's point, her future self is saying like, whatever you do, don't get into an argument with Kakuto, and like kind of reassure him that like be there for him. Now, Naho,
and then she also knows that the grandma is okay because she said we went to go talk to his grandmother.
Yes, this is where you fuck
her
up.
Future self says that.
This is where her past self fucked up because your future self didn't tell you to say shit about his grandma.
Yep.
You took information about the future that you didn't need to know because your past self wouldn't know, because Kakuro doesn't know that his grandmother is okay in the future, because now he thinks you're just like being flippant with what you're saying about, like, oh no, everything's going to be okay. He's like, how do you know everything's going to be okay? Keep in mind, the boy's mother died like 3 months ago.
Last time he thought it would be okay.
Exactly. So he's really reeling right now because the last person who's on this earth that is his family, that claims him as his family because his dad ain't shit, is his grandmother. And he's panicking because, like, I'll be all alone if she dies. And, like, he's taking while Naho was trying to be comforting, she's, like, saying, I know your grandmother's going to be okay. Just stay with us. It'll be fine. Naho should have stopped right then and there because they could have salvaged it.
But oh no, the one time the girl decides to talk on this damn show or this movie,
get her voice. The one time she decides to have a voice, it results in Kakuro like basically bursting in rage. And like, granted, he's taking his emotions out on her because he's stressed and he's worried about his grandma, and like he's reeling and spiraling. So yeah. This is when the two become distant. So then a day before December 31st, though Naho confesses her feelings to Kakuro, wherein the letter reveals his plans for suicide. At home, Kakuro finds a pre-recorded video of his mother and learns that she committed suicide because she did not want to burden him any further and that she wished that he would find happiness elsewhere. So then on New Year's Eve... This was honestly the best done scene in the entire movie, in my opinion, because of how well the actor who played Gakaru acted it. Like, holy crap, I believed it. I believed every single piece of it. It's good. So, on New Year's Eve... we'll talk about it in the thing. I'm just going to finish the synopsis. So New Year's Eve, realizing that Kakuro does not come on time, the 5 friends frantically search for him through the streets. They finally find him almost getting hit by a truck, being saved at the last second by the thoughts of his friends. So this is everything they didn't go to waste. It's like he realizes and again, we can't speak for the people who have committed suicide, but I mean, I know like from research, people say that like it's hard for people to commit suicide. Like, people don't do it lightly because they think about what they're leaving behind. And like most people, it's not something people just do. Like, when people say shit like, oh, they attempted suicide for attention, I'm like, you know what? No. Suicide is not an easy thing. It is not something anybody would want. It's not something somebody wants to do for attention.
You don't go into it lightly. You don't. Like, there is... I mean, like, and just getting, like, real for a second, like, I've attempted it once in my life. And everything, and which is why I love this anime so much, and it hit me on like a personal level, not only because of my personal experiences, but also because in the 11th grade I lost my best friend.
Wow.
She committed suicide, and I had all these same feelings. And when I watched this show, and you know, and it's why I was kind of let down by the movie a little bit, there were so many pieces of it where I was like, I would have written myself that. Because I didn't answer the phone that night. Yeah. And, like, I can list 10 different regrets and things. And, like, they do so well at showing, like, in this moment when he has to decide to turn his bike or keep going and get hit, he's flooded with all the tethers that are tying him down, like, keeping him from floating away. And that's what every action is. Like, everybody who has invested something in him. And this isn't to say that, like... everybody will weigh those the same way.
That's true.
Or there are simple fixes. And it doesn't mean that if you lose somebody to suicide that it's because you didn't do enough. That's never the case, but it's just like this did a really good job of just showcasing like the thoughts that you have and the ideas that go through your mind when that's what you're doing.
Agreed. And thanks for sharing that. Because, I mean, I know it's not... Again, it's not something to, like we said, it's not, no one goes into it lightly. No one, goes into it like, oh, I'm going to attempt it for attention, like, as most people think, like, people want to say, or like assume.
And it's because it makes people uncomfortable and they don't want to talk about it or acknowledge it. But yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. I'm just trying to remember the place. Oh, so then they find him, and like we said, like the thoughts of his friends. Are you okay? Oh.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I
will fly to Austin and give you a damn hug.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm just thinking of like just all these things, like, and the reasons why I loved this anime so much. And I'm just really happy that you like said that the way you did, because a lot of people do treat it like it's something light, and it's
I feel you.
Yeah,
but no. So then he finally almost gets. They finally find him. He almost gets hit by the truck, but he's saved because the last second he thinks of his friends, and then Naho is like in most of those memories. So he then like makes the decision that he wants to live, that he doesn't want to die. And then like they all rush to him, and like everyone's like yelling at him. Mainly Sua's yelling at him like, what is wrong with you? I'd never forgive you if you killed yourself. And like, no, like everyone's freaking out, and not freaking out in a bad way, but just like trying to make sure he's okay. And this is like, again, this actor's ability to really get across these emotions of just how much turmoil Kakuro was in. And how when he says, like, I don't want to die, like, that is just really powerful, of just, like, confessing to everyone. It's just, like, I don't want to die. I'm just, like, I feel like so...
that realization.
He just wanted to go to his mom. He just wanted to talk to his mom and say he was sorry. Because he at one point, he imagines if he had changed his attitude towards his mom, like when she was at one of her low points, and then like imagines like how that could have changed everything. So he just feels like he's compelled, like, I just want to go and talk to her and tell her I'm sorry. And it's like, it's one of those like very tragic things that he doesn't get to do that. And that's like what, but then he's like, no, I can't do it because I want to be here with you.
Exactly.
So now the film closes with the 2025 Naho, Hiroto, Chino, Hagita, and Azu watching the sunset from a hill nearby, while in the parallel 2015, the same event happens, except the Kakuro is with them, and Kakuro and Nahu are together. Naho.
Yep.
So, one more thing. They made a time capsule. And this was also heartbreaking because before they go and visit Kakuro's grave, he had in his letter in the time capsule, he didn't write about a letter to himself like they all agreed to.
Yeah.
He wrote
a letter to
them, asking them how everyone is, how are things going, and all this other stuff. So again, it's very meaningful that he then like made it to like that the parallel universe B, like they're all together.
Yep.
And that is where we end. That was a long synopsis. I didn't realize how long that was.
That was a really long synopsis, which like this movie is 2 hours long.
Yes.
It's a lot of plot and a lot of story. And if we go into like critiquing or whatever, I actually think it hurts me because this is, like I said, this is like a very potent anime with a very well-written story and looking at these issues of, you know, depression and suicide and all these things. But like the anime, which is like 12, 13 episodes, like I was never bored.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the movie, I was just like, this just, why am I bored? I love this story. Why do I feel like I'm bored? And I don't know why I felt that way.
Not gonna lie, there are parts where I just like skipped 15 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
Just because I was like, I know how this is gonna go. I know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. And the anime is like pretty much, like with the exception of some of the changes that we noted, like it's pretty shot for shot. Like a lot of it happens like almost exactly, and I guess it's because it came after, with like some major, like with, you know, with some big changes, specifically the friends and stuff like that. But like I felt like it was too much of the same thing.
Yeah, I would have to agree there.
And like also the end scene is just so much better in the anime, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I mean we get the full picture of like where things went and how they played out all together, like with every friend.
Yeah, and even, but like also just like even on the when he's gonna get hit by the truck, because in the anime, in the movie, you can see him turn his bike, so you know that he turned it. Whereas in the anime, it just looks like he got hit. It looked like he was gonna snap out of it, and then he got hit. That's what it looks like. And I yelled out, and I was crying. And Matt jumped into the room. Was like, "Oh my god, what's happening? Are you okay?" I was like, "Kakaru!" And then he was okay. But like, it was very dramatic for me.
I mean, yes, because like in the anime, I don't know why I cried harder. Because in the anime, you actually see Kakuro die. Like you saw it was played out where he actually died. Whereas like in the live action, you never see him. You see him attempt with the car, but like I just feel like it was more. I don't know. It got me in the gut more with the anime.
Yeah. And I think it's also because like the anime was. It was a lot. I don't want to say more adult, but it was just a lot darker. Not darker. It was heavier. And see, here's something I've been trying to figure out when it comes to anime. Like when dark subjects are dealt with anime and live action. Is it that because it's animated that we feel like it's heavier? Like because the animated characters are dealing with the heavy subjects that we then feel like it is sadder. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's a good question. I don't know.
It's like imagine if like Mickey Mouse was dealing with like a serious subject, like matter like this. Yeah. Because it's like, it's the juxtaposition of like, oh, it's a nice little anime girl who's like, dealing with this super serious thing. Yeah. Is that like, do we have more sympathy because this thing looks more, looks like us, looks like a human, but,
Yeah. Like it's detached, but not completely.
Exactly. Like... It is like Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty does like a bunch of shit. Like or BoJack Horseman. Because I know you like BoJack Horseman. Like it's stuff like that. BoJack Horseman deals with depression and all that stuff. So it's kind of like that stuff be getting me in the gut. I was just like, oh, BoJack's mom had a lobotomy because she couldn't deal with the fact that her son died. Oh no, BoJack's grandmother was lobotomized by BoJack's grandfather because she couldn't deal with the grief of her son dying in a war. And then that explains why BoJack's mom is the way she is. And that's why BoJack is the way he is. And you'll find that all from like when BoJack is like staying at their family's summer home to fix it up.
Oh God, BoJack.
Sorry, I know. Like
BoJack hurts.
I didn't even
so much.
Yeah, it hurts. But again, like you feel that
it hits it. It's real.
Yeah, and again, to my theory, I think we feel it harder with animated things than we do with like like. Of course, like if I saw that with people,
I think you're right because I think it's kind of like when we watch it animated, we can kind of put like a wall between us and it because it's different, and so we'll let ourselves feel it more. Whereas it's people. Because like even with like the Naho like not talking and stuff, like in the live action it bothered me a whole lot more than it did in the animation.
And you know what, I wonder if it's because again we as humans know that's not how you would act. Or it's like that's not how we as humans in the real world would act in these situations. So we have less of an excuse for like the actors or like the live action characters than we do for an anime character. If that makes sense. I think that made sense.
Yeah. No, that made sense.
Cool. Yay. I feel smart.
Yeah.
So yeah,
bringing those deep questions.
I try to bring something to the table with this show. So yeah, we haven't done this in a while, so I'm trying to remember where we go from here. Oh yeah, say something nice. What did we like?
Okay, so I liked Kakaru. I loved Kakaru. I loved the actor. I loved the way he had his emotional scenes. I think he was just perfectly played. And I mean, the story and the concept, I love the majority of all of it. But, and I'll get to my next piece when we get to that piece.
I like that the actors, I don't know if they were teenagers at the time, but if they were, that's great. But I just liked how the actors seemed like teenagers. Like, I don't know.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Like I just watched like the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Yeah, those are all like 30-year-olds.
They're at least got to be 25 and up. Or like, I'm trying to think like Pretty Little Liars, like that.
Yeah.
Or Riverdale. Like as much as Riverdale is my like my dark pleasure, it's also like something I can't always get into because I get tired of how they act. Whereas like this one is like, this is how teenagers would probably accurately act. It's like watching like how much I loved All the Boys I Ever Loved.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, because it's like they actually came off as teenagers and not, like adults playing teenagers. I mean, I don't know how old they were when they made this. It was better than like what Pretty Little Liars and what Riverdale does with teenage characters.
I could take that.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. I see that.
Yeah, and then like, of course, Kakeru, those are things I liked. Like the actor's performance was spot on. There's not much else.
So on to what we didn't like.
Yeah.
I didn't like the casting. I know that it's because of anime expectations, but the hair colors threw me off. And just some of the voices. And it was hard. It was hard for me.
I mean, you're not wrong. I agree. It's definitely, sometimes I'm not even that big of a stickler when it comes to hair. When it comes to like live action, I mean, like I was cool with Rukia rocking a ponytail in Bleach.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, why can't?
But the hair being like is a big piece of, because they make fun of what's his face's hair too, like Suwa's.
Yeah, because it's so
he's
bright.
a ginger. Mm-hmm. It's so bright orange.
Yeah, and it's not like he dyes it. It's just like it's that way.
Yeah, and Bleach proved that you could do that.
It did. No, that's definitely something. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just like they're trying to be more accurate. They're like, oh, there's not that many, like... Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I don't...
It definitely makes sense.
If we're talking about other hair types, I honestly don't know nothing outside of black hair. So, I don't know if, like, people of Asian descent, I would assume... they can have different colored hair. Like, of course, like we've seen like in some characters, but I don't want to go off of anime solely alone. However, I would also assume that maybe the characters dye their hair. So like, I just feel like the casting could have just been like, it wouldn't have been a big deal if they just casted her and like made her hair that color.
Yeah.
Like I feel like maybe it's just like, maybe it's budget. Like, or maybe they just, or maybe the actress had an agreement. Like she didn't want to dye her hair.
Yeah. But like all of them though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for all of them. It's kind of like
all of them though don't have. Yeah. I mean, like I get it. It's not a big deal. And I mean, it just bothered me, and I think it's just because I love the anime so much. That's why it bothered me. But again, the anime came after, and if it came off the manga, the manga is like black and white. But like, and I guess it's more real, right? Like it's more of like real slice of life and like really people you could see, even though it has time travel.
Can we go back to what we liked real quick?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, because after you said that about it being real, I liked that while this is considered a fantasy, they kept it pretty grounded. Like they did not.
They didn't do crazy time travel explanations.
Exactly, they didn't have to do all that. I can be fine with the chemistry class explaining time anomalies and like parallel universes, because that
should have been a physics class. I'll let it slide.
But it's like, I think that's where this movie benefited from, is that the anime, and I would assume the manga, I mean, in manga you can be as like supernatural, fantastical as you want to because it's a manga, but like this adaptation, that's where it benefited from not having to explore like super fantasticalism. Like, it didn't have to.
Yeah. Like, it's really like it's there and it exists, and that's it. Like, it doesn't go into like these big things, and they're not meeting each other.
They didn't have to be like, oh, the letters jump through time. Like, that's from like another.
They just show up, and that's it.
Yeah, they showed up, and that's it. We don't need to know how exactly. Yeah. We just need to know that it happened, and that's it, and we're moving forward. So yeah, I appreciated that.
Yep.
So yeah, okay, so sorry, back to what you were saying. But yeah, no, expectations of anime and casting for sure.
Yeah, and I get it. I just didn't like it.
I get
That's
it.
what I didn't like.
No, I mean, yeah.
That's my note.
But yeah.
But I also just in love with Sua so much in the anime that I was just like, you're not Sua.
A giant.
I'm sorry, Sua.
I mean,
you're not Sua.
don't we all want a giant man?
Yeah.
Who has
Sorry, Matt, if you ever listen to this, I don't think you do. But
look, I'm single. I can say it. Like, I'll share it. I'll put it out here. If you guys know any giant men who are single, like to be fit, like I like to work out. I want a workout buddy. Hit me up. Like, send me a picture because I don't do blind dates. But for real, though.
You may want to specify what kind of picture, though, because
I'm not.
I mean, you may get some unsolicited pictures.
You're right. Let them have clothes on, please. Thank you very much. My DMs are open. But no, as I have been loudly parading,
please see reference picture of Sua.
Or Creed 2 came out. I have been professing my love for Drago Jr., aka Florian Montigny. I'm probably butchered his last name, but my God, when
he can butcher me. I'm sorry.
Man, I likes me a big old giant mountain of a man. Like, I just
climb that tree.
Yeah. When people say like, but you're 5'4", bitch, I can climb. He is everything.
And now this is a thirst podcast.
This has become a thirst podcast because I'm just like sitting here thinking about
I feel like that happens every other episode.
Yeah, he has nothing to do with this movie at all. But oh my God, y'all just go do yourselves a favor and look at that man, because when I say I like me a giant mountain of a man, that is what I'm talking about. My little 5'4" short ass.
So Nisha, take a cold shower.
No, I'm gonna do
before you go to bed.
I'm gonna do stretches. I'm gonna stop now. Okay. I'm exposing myself on Twitter. Not Twitter, on this show. Damn, I'm tired.
And the internet will forever remember this.
Now I must have edited it. Bow. We're done. Okay. But to wrap this up, so yeah. Things we didn't like. The biggest plot hole, read the whole damn letter at once. Yes! And send the letter back 5 days in advance.
Yeah, fair.
It's time travel. Why did you guys say, it has to definitely happen on the 20th? Granted, we don't know what day those letters showed up in the past. We just know they showed up. Because in the anime, they just dropped them in some water. And they hoped for the best. And they put a note in there for like, whoever picks these up, please mail them off by this date. So like, there's a lot of faith going on there. But why didn't you read the entire Naho? This is specifically to Naho. Why didn't you read the letter in entirety? Like right then and there. Or maybe, hey, you know what? They're not, like, future self, right back to Naho and say, like, look, they're not going to believe you. Show them this letter. Here's all the details I know about this boy. And then tell him that he needs to go home to his mother, or he's going to regret it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, that would have been, like, cut the movie in half. But again, there would have been no story. But if you had the intention of wanting to save Kakeru's mother, I think she should have written that more clearer. Because I don't think they thought about, like, saving Kakeru's mother as the priority. Yeah. Because as she
don't slowly, like they wrote these things at one time with all this information. Don't, like, slowly build up to it. Just
Yeah, because
put it there.
And like she writes out everything and, like, in great detail. But then I'm just like, if the priority was to save his mother from killing herself, wouldn't you think that would be more important to tell her? Then say put that on the second page or the third page, because it's not even included. Like, she lets Kakeru tell her that. So I'm judging future universe A, Naho, and Sua like, why didn't y'all tell yourselves sooner? This goes for the anime and the live action.
Yes.
You could have told each other sooner that, like, hey, if you invite Kakuro out, his mother's going to kill herself today.
Yeah.
Like, you guys should help Kakuro mend his relationship with his mom. Or become friends with him and be supportive, but also help him mend his relationship with his mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm done ranting.
No, I feel you. I co-sign all of that.
Thank you. Okay. That was really my biggest thing. I mean, obviously pacing. At this point, I've gotten past the point of like pacing when it comes to like episodes being adapted to a live action movie, because I give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just accept it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So now we talked about what we liked, what we didn't like, and now.
Did they have to?
Yes. Did they have to?
In our rating.
Did they have to, Kate?
Oh, so this is hard. If the anime had come first, no.
Okay.
But the anime didn't come first. So I can only assume that the anime was made because of the movie.
Yes.
In which case, I have to say they had to, because this is one of my favorite animes of the genre.
This is kind of like a time travel question. If the movie didn't happen, then there would be no anime. So I'm also going to say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah.
Also, it is a very important message. I think there's like...
It really is.
Like, building connections, reaching out to someone, even if they feel like they're okay, if they seem like they're fine on the outside, but still pushing to make that connection to them, and being a friend for that person, even when you don't know how to, can make all the difference in someone's life.
Yeah.
So I think that's an important message. And like we said, suicide is like a very serious thing everywhere, but like in Japan it is like very, very, very serious. Like the statistics are very bad.
Yeah. No, entirely. Entirely. So I would actually rate this probably like 3 drinks for me, just because it's really slow.
Yeah.
So I would probably go get up and fix a drink a few times and come back and hope stuff picked up.
I had a hot toddy while I watched this.
Ooh, that sounds so good.
Yeah, I was sick-ish. I was finishing up a code, so I made about 2 of those during this. Mm-hmm. But I would also say it's a 3, just because of the times I had to skip ahead. I just couldn't deal with the kitty crap at a certain point. I'm tired of him hinting at liking her. I'm tired of her not getting it. Even in the anime, when he kept on holding out her hand for him to hold, or she.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, girl, you're looking at his hand like it's a strange thing. Grab his hand. He wants you to hold his hand. But then at the same time, he's being a gentleman. But then it's like he feels rejected because she's not holding his hand. And I just feel like...
Honestly, I don't blame Gakuru at any of this stuff other than like the Ueda stuff and the racer thing. Like the other stuff, I kind of really would just blame her.
I will. Because even like the whole grandma being sick line and everything, she should have just shut up and been understanding. Or like, hey, I will pray for your grandma. Or, I don't know, something supportive. Something like, I'm so sorry to hear that. Would you like me to come visit and help?
Something supportive that isn't dismissive.
Right. Which, again, you know what? That's what her future self should have said. Hey, what if all of us came over and helped cook dinner for you and your grandma?
Yeah!
It would have like, why? Why am I not getting paid?
Yeah.
Why am I not getting paid? But, you know, plots.
You're missing your true calling.
I am. Finding plot holes in anime and writing a new plot to make it better. No, but it's perfect as it is. I mean, the movie has its faults, but yeah, it's a 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solid.
We did it. We switched things up after Attack on Titan because we were in need of, getting in touch with our emotions, and now we can shove those bitches back down and...
And pile a whole bunch of gory things on top.
Yes, because I'm on the hunt for Tokyo Ghoul. Or will we switch it?
Yes.
Will we switch it up and watch Lupin the Third, the live action?
Ooh.
Because I'm trying to find it. Will we find a way to watch it together and live tweet it?
Will we actually give them our Twitter handles where they can follow us?
Oh my god, yeah, we should do that first. Damn it.
That was good though. You were
I was on
it.
it. It's fine. Yeah, so you can find me at LA_NEY_SHA, tweeting about anime and thirsting after Florian Montanu, aka Big Nasty. That is his nickname on fucking Instagram and Twitter.
I love it.
Damn it. I
love it so much.
Damn it. Okay, Kate, go. I'm going to take a cold shower.
I have a husband. So I have to put that back in. I don't. Gotta. No, you don't. I will live through you. Find that tall man. Mm-hmm. I do love my husband though, guys. But you can find the podcast at DHYT_pod on Twitter. Send us your recommendations, and you can find me at Oh My Myth Randier on Twitter. And also, super sorry for the delay. It was totally all my fault because we bought a house.
No, it's not it's not your fault. Also, it was Thanksgiving last week. Things were hectic. You guys are moving during Thanksgiving. It's fine.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, I imagine we did that 2 years ago. We did that like 2 years ago when my parents built their house. So I know how much of a hectic mess that can be. So it's all good. No one lost their shit. Everyone's happy. We're here.
Yep.
You guys have a fresh new episode that you just got through. So yeah. Now, how do I end this show?
Will we make it at an hour next time?
Will I be over my thirst crust of Florian next time, aka Big Nasty?
Will we switch things up and do Lupin the Third, or will we go into horror again?
Find out next time on Did You Have To? Bye.
Bye. Awesome.